Hey guys, Andre here, and this is my custom built Allez Sprint and my long-term review of it. So let's start. First of all, I must tell you that this is my first vlog, so bear with me. So let's start. For full disclaimer, I'm not endorsed by Specialized or anyone else, so anything you can see here is both from my honest and hard work. So let's start. The frame I have bought about 1.5 years ago from a site from Germany. I have had a very hard trouble to source one because Specialized already moved to the disc ones, and I really wanted to have a rim brake one because I really wanted to have a competitive bike, but that I could also make it pretty light. This was my goal, first of all. So anything that you will see in this build was done having weight in mind, but also being as competitive, but not breaking the bank in the process of building it. So the frame, actually to be more correct, the frame set that came was comprised of the frame, the fork, the seat post, and the spacers for the headset, which come in 10mm ones and 20mm ones. I am using the 20mm ones for my fit. One thing that I have to buy separately were the, let me show you, where the saddle clamps, because they only come with the normal one for the round ones, so I'm having the oval ones, so those had to be purchased afterwards. One thing, let's say one upgrade that I have done, sorry, my transporty holder, the umbrella, I have replaced the BB30 bearings with let's call it an external bottom bracket adapter, but it's not like that. Basically what I have done there, I have I have stolen, let's say I have stolen the project from Hambini. I have saw in one of his videos that was making some, and just designed one of myself design. I have draw one in a CAD application that I know to use very well. I went to a local guy that works very well on a lathe and made a replica of that, fitted it with industrial bearings, works flawlessly. It even it spins as smooth as the ones that you will see with ceramics fitted. If you guys will be interested, I will give it a go. So after I have purchased the frame, I already had some parts lying around from my older bike build, so I started to assemble it. Let's start from top with the saddle. The saddle is yeah, looks like a San Marco short fit, but it's a AliExpress replica, which to be honest, I found it so far to be the saddle that fits me the best. It's pretty light, 165 grams if I'm not mistaken, and 145 width. So far is the best saddle I have used. Really fits me well. Coming to the cockpit area, this is what I already had. So what I mean is the Pro PLT stem with a minus 10 degrees rise. It's 130 millimeters long. Sorry, this fits my bike fit very well. This is paired with also with a Pro PLT compact handlebar, which I really like because it's pretty lightweight. It's about 260 grams for a 42 centimeters width, center to center. As you can see, my computer is a Brighton Rider 420, very trustworthy, paired with a K-edge holder. Okay, after I have assembled this, started to think what if I wanted to invest now in a new group set, or what could have made me lower the weight even more. So after a few calculations, I must admit that I'm quite a geeky number guy, so I made a few combinations in Excel and started to see what parts fit very well and would also help me bring the weight down without breaking the bank. So I had to stick with my long trustworthy shifters that are the latest Niagara ones. I think they are the 4700 ones. 10 speed, yes, still running 10 speeds in 2020, no biggie. So I have paired this with the followings. In the transmission area, I have used an Ultegra R8000 crankset, the semi-compact one, I think it's called, the 5236, with 172 cranks. On the other side, I'm running a 4iii Precision 2.0 on a 105 arm as a power meter, which is very trustworthy and reliable. Had no issues so far, very consistent, really recommended. For the pedals, I really wanted something that could help me lose weight but also be very reliable, and I found these ones on AliExpress, titanium ones, which are a replica of Speedplay ones. I have also tested it. You can fit a regular Speedplay, sorry guys, clip in it with no problems. The reason that I have bought them was, of course, the price. They were about $70 or something on AliExpress. But the main driver was that they are very lightweight. They weighed about 141 grams, weighted myself, and they are very reliable, spins very smooth. As you can see, they have taken some crashes and they're still working fine. On the shifting part, I have used the new front derailleur from the 105, I think it's called the R7000, paired with the rear shifter that is also the 105 one, the R7000. Okay, it's made for 11 speed, but because the newer Niagara shifters have the cable pull for the 11 speed, but just missing one cog, it just fits perfectly. You can fit them with, for example, a 10 speed one. So this upgrade came very good in the end. What you will see that is also upgraded from the normal one. By the way, this is the rear derailleur with the GS cage, the short cage. But as you can see, I'm not running the normal jockey wheels because I really wanted an increased efficiency for the drivetrain. So the upper pulley wheel, I don't know if you can see, it's a 13 teeth one, and the lower one is a 16 teeth one. I have bought for the upper one an upgrade jockey wheel set kit for Ultegra GRX. They are coming in 11, 13 teeth. So I have just just use the 13 teeth one, and the lower one I have bought separately from, let's see if you can guess, yes, AliExpress again. Both of them, they are having that narrow wide profile, which really helps shifting, for crisp shifting, and holds the chain very well. Talking about the chain is nothing fancy. It's one from Force, a 10-speed one. Looks very similar to the KCNC. I have used a few chains, and this actually outperforms, at least in my settings, the SRAM chain and also the Shimano chain. I have both with the sprockets, which by the way are 1228, 10 speed, doing the job just fine. The chain is not dirty, it's actually waxed. I use a combination of paraffin wax and Teflon powder. I have saw in some reviews on All Cycle, also on YouTube, and give it a try, and yeah, I can really feel the efficiency of the drivetrain when using paraffin wax, and never used any kind of lube ever since. Yeah, it's a bit time consuming to wax the chain every time, clean it and so on, but I really think it is well worth it. Okay, moving on. The bottle cages, yeah, lightweight, yes they are, but not but just in terms of weight. There are some that I have bought from the also known site as AliExpress, you guessed it. Pretty light, pretty cheap, does the job. The bidons don't fly on the road. I have used them on some rough roads, and they're holding the bidons just fine, so really recommend them. In terms of bottles, wanted to be also something lightweight, so I have used the trustworthy Elite Fly 0.55 liters. They're just great. I really like them and recommend them. Cables and inner cables for shifting and braking. There are some generic Shimano ones, the stainless steel ones, but for the housing I have bought some kits also from AliExpress, which basically looks like a replica of Knock-ons or I-Link from Jaguar, and really does the job very well. The braking is good, the shifting is good and crisp, so really I haven't noticed any problems compared to the normal inner housings. Here the weight greenies will be very joyful. This is I have used some fishing line to tie a bit the cables because they are flying everywhere if you don't just hold them a bit in place. So yeah, that does the job very well. Brakes were also an area that I wanted to shave some weight, but not losing braking power or wallet power. So I have bought a pair of calipers from Bike 24. Those ones are called July 20F. I'll put a link. They were pretty cheap, about 65 euros when I have bought them. As today I have checked them, they were about 68. The best part is that they are pretty light. I mean, pretty very light. They come at 255 grams with brake pads included. They're not dual calipers. You can see it's a dual pivot, sorry, it's just a single pivot, but they are using that same gimmick that also SRAM used on the red, I think in the red 22, with that Aerolink, I think it was called. So in terms of modulation and braking power, it's on par with Dura-Ace, Altigra, but it's lighter, which is always a good thing when you're trying to build a competitive bike. Now, last but not least, the wheel set. The wheel set is a custom one. No, it's not Timol, a new brand. This is how it's called, my amateur team that I have gathered here in Bucharest, Romania. So it was a way to promote ourselves. Basically, what you see there are some custom vinyl decals that I have done myself and sticked myself. On what I have sticked them, basically I have bought a pair of carbon rims from, as you guessed, AliExpress. They are 23 millimeters wide and about 17, I hope I'm not mistaken, millimeters inner width. These were built on a pair of PowerA R13 hubs. Let me show you. With normal bearing one, 4 bearings in the back, 2 bearings in the front. They are laced with some sapling light spokes, which are pretty light but very reliable. I know guys that are using them for downhill and just holding pretty well. The pair came pretty light, let's say, for this rim depth. As you see them, without the quick releases, they tip the scale at 1.580 grams, so pretty light for a 50 millimeters deep wheel set. This is where I will upgrade in the future. I have custom configured the wheel set with also some rims from China, 29 millimeters wide, 45 deep, that are tipping the scale at about 1.3 kilograms. So this will be the next upgrade, and also tubeless. The tires that I use are some Continentals GP 5000, 25 millimeters wide. They have been performing very well. I'm not that very convinced in terms of the puncture resistance. I really think the older ones, the GP 4000 S2, they have been doing a greater job, but still it's a fast tire, a fast everyday training and racing tire. These ones are paired with Continental inner tubes, the supersonic ones. I really wanted to shave some weight on the rotational mass. They are pretty light, the inner tubes. They come at about 50 grams per inner tube. Personally checked them and they're really telling the truth. So yeah, I don't really like how they feel compared with the latex ones, but I think for a boot wheel tube they're the best you can get, and the not say the cheapest, but they're a good compromise in terms of lightweight and price. As you can see, the bike, as you see it here, with the titanium quick releases, it tips the scale at about 7.588 grams, so pretty light for a 56 size frame aluminum bike with deep dish wheels and not some lightweight fancy parts. I have done some calculations. I can lower it to about 7.3 kilograms. I will just have to update the cassette. I have found one pretty light and not so expensive from some guys called Beat Up. I can put the link in the description. And also with that wheel set upgrade that I have mentioned, the 1.35 kilograms ones, this can be lowered to a very competitive weight. Okay, that there could have been shaved some grams in terms of cockpit, but I really don't want to sacrifice the stiffness of the front end, and I still in doubt if I want to go for a carbon handlebar. Had one, not the best experience, so I think I will be sticking with the alloy ones. Okay, how does it feel? How does it ride? Well, in terms of riding, I think it's the best bike that I had so far, and I had a few ones, carbon and aluminum ones. In terms of stiffness, man, this is pretty stiff. Every pedal stroke you push into the bike really goes into the tarmac. The flex is very little, or at least I couldn't notice it. It really transfers the power very well. The geometry, I think, is absolutely insane. You can throw the bike, because it has this shorter wheelbase, you can throw it basically in every corner, short corner, tight corner. It will just steer like it's on rails. In terms of comfort, it depends on what you prefer. If you like a plushier ride, this bike I don't think is for you. It can be very harsh, but if you pair it with let's say some 28mm tires, even tubeless, I think it will very much smooth the ride out. To be honest, I like a more firmer bike, so I didn't have any issues with it being a bit harsher. It doesn't filter the road buzz like a carbon one, but I didn't find it very disturbing, let's say. So yeah, I really like it. I raced it pretty hard, let's say. I have crashed it. It handled very well. It's yeah, a bike that I personally like, and I have done also rides over 200 k's, and I can't say that I have come home beaten up. So yeah, this is my everyday training racing bike. Really liked it, and I'm really glad that I have chosen it. I see that now they're claiming that you can get very lightweight bikes with discs, but really still not a fan, still not convinced that is the way to go. I will still keep this rim build and try to upgrade it, and if I can get it to 7.2 kilos, which can be done with the upgrades that I mentioned you, without even breaking the bank on a, let's say, Specialized Ethos or a Tarmac SL7, I will really do this on my bike, and I really enjoy it. Okay guys, thank you for sticking with me so far, if you really did this. If you have something to ask, please use the comments. If you liked it, press the like button, give me a share, give me a subscribe, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye.